Good afternoon to everyone present here. I, Ishita Tyagi, Assistant Professor Law, Coordinator of today's guest lecture, welcomes you all. As we all know, ED Cell, Entrepreneurship Development Cell, IIC IMT College of Law, is organizing a series of events to inculcate among the youth the spirit of research, innovation, and entrepreneurship under the guidance of our respected Director Ma'am Dr. Monica Rastogi and Chairman ED Cell Mr. Vipin Bhati. Today we have Ms. Sumaiira Hanspal, co-founder Work Arena, who is our esteemed guest of honor, and she will be enlightening us and delivering a motivational lecture on entrepreneurship, Zero Se Hero. Ma'am is a financial advisor by profession with more than 10 years experience, having considerable success in advising high net worth individuals and corporate clients on investments. With strong corporate finance background, along with keen business sense and ability to thrive in fast-paced environment, adapt in providing investment management, equity broking, real estate, investment banking, and insurance services for clients, and interpreting financial information to develop strategies that successfully meet their wealth objectives. Rich experience in business and financial forecasting, which helps in long-term planning of the organization. Am has functional expertise in business development, team management, wealth management, client servicing, risk management, real estate advisory. Welcome, ma'am. Over to you.
Thank you so much, Ishita. I apologize for the delay in joining the team, and I'm still trying to if camera gets on. And hello,
Yes, ma'am. You're audible. No
yeah,
problem.
yeah.
You are actually
So
welcome here.
we will continue like this only. And
Okay.
I, as an individual, will you already have given my brief up already. So if I talk about the entrepreneurship versus the job, I have exposure of both the sectors. I mean, I have worked for good sectors and good banking sectors basically. Job versus entrepreneurship, I what I have realized is, if we are working for somebody versus what we are doing for ourselves, is a huge development in terms of personality, in terms of achieving goals, in terms of building wealth, in terms of building PR. And when we work for somebody else, that is altogether a different experience. In banking, I have worked with the ABN AMRO as a wealth advisor. In HSBC, I was an investment banker. I've got exposure in catering to corporates, HNIs, high net worth individuals, National Stock Exchange, Treasury. So this is what I have, experienced when I was, working for corporates. Now having my own venture, I started off this venture last year, January 2021. So what I have realized is, I always had a dream managing funds of everyone, managing funds of see any I wanted to become an entrepreneur, not having one single product. So if we become an entrepreneur having one single product, that would not give me an opportunity to getting the best of myself or from the market. I, being a economic student, I realize that what all money any individual is making from this country, that should be invested in this country only. Hello, am I audible?
Yes, ma'am. You are audible.
So what I have experienced till now is, anyone who is making money here by serving this country, this corporate, they have their dream to invest in somewhere. Either they invest in gold, so we deal in gold, I mean commodities. We deal in bonds, we deal in property. Property is something everyone's dream is, whether it is for rental incomes, for, see, we create wealth out of wealth. So that is what my, experience till now is. When you work for somebody, that life and experience become very monotonous. You are kind of, you limit your growth, you limit your everything. You are kind of, working for somebody else's goals. You are making somebody else achieve your goal. So I, as an individual, would, always encourage people and youth to start up their own ideas, expertise in their own, field, what they are, choosing to do with. Are you guys listening? I am not. Hello.
Yes, ma'am, you are audible.
I, Ishita, would like to have a interactive session. If anybody is having question, that would be, more. I would like to have a two-way communication. If anybody is having their question, I would like they to, ask. Every individual has their own separate goals. Every individual gets their own, mental blocks, which we can, I would like to address those things. Why anybody is choosing, I mean, anybody choosing a law is entrepreneurship itself, right? So working for ourselves and working for somebody else's goal. So, if I would request you to, if we can, make it an interactive session.
Okay, ma'am, no problem.
Yeah. I would like to have, questions rather than, I'm just telling my experience and it is endless. I have, done investments of, my biggest investment, which I have done till now is, that was for 87 crores. That was of a corporate. So having a good experience, I have, made myself limitless in terms of, achieving goals. I set a goal, achieve that, then make another. I don't waste whole of my life or whole of my year for achieving one single goal. My goals keep on, changing. So let's, have an interactive session that will be more informative and educative.
Okay, ma'am. Anybody from the audience would
Anybody
like
would like to?
would like to ask anything from ma'am?
Yeah, I have a question. So basically, yeah, definitely, entrepreneurship is definitely very rewarding them, and if I think 10 people you ask, like out of 10 people, at least 8 would like to pick up entrepreneurship as against job, right? But one of the key thing which is differentiating is in two factors. One is risk taking capability. Second is also the capital, right? So I would like to ask you my question is that if someone who is working, who is in job, and he or she wants to is is capital. Second is how to get the capital, and second is how to normally in job people will be risk averse, right? They will not be very risk taking, but
Yeah.
risk is very important part of entrepreneurship. So do these two hindrances would come across, right, anyone? So what is your recommendation if somebody wants to kind of bridge these two biggest of the
See,
gaps?
see, thank you so much for asking this question. And, I would like to address this in a way. The biggest risk in life is not taking any risk. And second is, if you are taking calculative risk, every goal has a limited time. Let's suppose you want to achieve something. So for that, you want a capital you can, raise via your peripheral, your people who can support you, your idea, who can, venturize in your capital, this your idea, or the bankings are there, NBFCs are there. There are many people who are, invest their pump in money in the your new ideas. If I see from past 10 years, a lot of FIIs and FDIs has also, encouraged many new startups in India. So this is how your idea has to be very innovative. With having a calculative profit making, you have to, make your whatever idea you are making, it has to be profit making, versus the risk has to be very calculative. Am I?
Okay. So normally, ma'am, yeah. So normally, like all these institution, financial institution, they are,
Mm-hmm.
you know, yes, venture capital. If you look at venture capitalist VCs, they would be probably interested in investing a new venture, right? Or a private equity, player coming in, and he or she will be like more interested. But a
Correct.
layman, or let's say somebody who does not have an access or does not know the process how to actually get the investment in, or maybe
See,
so
yeah, that
so
is
it
the
will be
biggest
very
problem.
difficult. And normal,
Yeah.
yeah, and normally banking channels, like normal typical financial institutions, they are not they don't like actually support these new ventures. They would always like to
No,
look at somebody who is into
they,
business, or who is
how investors, yeah, I'll tell you what. I mean, how investors work, they always want ROI on their money, right? So if I talk about the banking sector, what they do, I mean, they give money out of the investments, what people have done in that. Let's suppose you do any FD in the fixed deposit in any bank. So they will, give loan. Technically, bank is nothing but just a broker. So they will give loan to the
I mean, you're not audible.
case. In that scenario, what you can do is and give them equity, so you can get money, you can raise money. Technical, the right word would be, you can raise money having a good proposal, good proposition on the papers, having the forecast of 4 to 5 years, and which sector it would be catering and how it would be catering. Your idea has to be uh, catering which sector, which it has to be sectorial wise, as well as you have to show the past growth also. Let's suppose I chose to become a real estate consultant. I have my own real estate firm, and the leading one, I must add on that. um, I raised fund not only on my face value. I was doing a job only previously, and I have got my good PR. I mean, I have not raised any money from any bank or any NBFC, but there are investors who invest crores on my face value and on my brain. If you do not have money, then you should have amazing brain and ideas. You should have risk calculative idea, wherein which anybody would lure to get it invest in your idea.
Yeah, ma'am, in my experience, I have also seen that before somebody else invest into my idea, I have to invest first myself into my idea.
No,
So getting the
not
seed
really.
capital,
Not really. What is your idea? Which sector you have chosen?
retail, e-commerce. So for example,
E-com.
getting somebody into e-commerce. So I've seen that getting the seed capital is the first biggest factor, and normally seed capital will come from people closer to you, right? Whom you can
Correct.
at least influence. So once you have the seed capital from the people or promoters like who are closer to you, then and based on how the business models and future projections are there, then then the naturally next step could be actually kind of pitching it for
See,
investment, right? And
your idea of e-commerce is very, very nice, but you need to analyze at the same time who all are your competitors. So the competitor in your e-commerce sector is a huge competitors. So nobody would be investing. Let's suppose anybody invest in your idea. I mean, if I myself will invest in your idea, so the ROI on your idea would not be that much, wherein new idea would be getting me more ROI. you know the same thing which I had briefed earlier. So any idea you would be having, it has to be calculative thing. So e-commerce is a very, very nice idea, but now the stagnation has come into this sector. It was very nice 5 years back. Now industry has changed.
Ma'am, how do you think that the idea of somebody getting like who's into the job and wants to, kind of explore the stock markets and other things, right? So for a layperson trying to get into stock, stocks and all, right? There can be different ways. There could be long-term investment. There can be intradays, right? Or maybe sometime investing into commodity market or various exchanges, or let's
Commodity.
say even in currency. Yeah. So normally, how do you think like this idea is there, right? Because obviously, anybody who is going to get into stock market per se has huge risk, right? You can lose money and you can gain money,
It
and
is
somebody
pure on
a job
speculation.
person who,
Share market is pure speculation. It is a very big manipulative market.
so you don't advise that for somebody who is looking to move from job to
No,
entrepreneurship or maybe invest. I
no, no.
asked that question because your domain is specifically on the finance side, right? So
No, no.
so
I
the,
will. I will. I hope I have addressed your e-commerce question. That was your question only.
yes.
Yeah. So now your question is whether to invest in real, equity market or not. Is this? Am I getting right?
No, I'm asking, I'm general as a career, somebody who's into job, right? And let's say there are two, three things that is in front of him. One is the e-commerce side, wherein
Hmm.
there will be investment that will be needed, right? And another option is trying to not go into e-commerce and then looking to, invest into shares and
See,
do the
for
share
for
tradings, right? Share stock trading.
no,
So
no. No, I'll interrupt you here only. Let's suppose you want to enter as an investor. So as an investor, first you need to see what is your financial goal. You want to invest in 1 crore, you want to invest in 10 lakhs. So what ROI you want to get from that, and what is your risk appetite? You can, manage your fund in a way having, your financial goal. Let's suppose you want to invest in 1 CR. So 1 CR, you have to have a diversification of 1 crore. Part of it you can have an exposure into currency. If you see dollar and gold, they go parallel, right? Let's suppose you would be making money in dollars, so you can hedge. You can make money in the gold. You can hedge your money in the dollar. So once you make money in the dollar, you will not make money in the gold. So there are supportive. So this is all portfolio. This is a tailor-made structurized portfolio we can make, and I still make this for my clients. And debenture bonds, NCD bonds. If I talk, you can very well go for NCD bonds. In NCD bonds you can get 9.75% ROI. That is tax free. My main agenda of giving good returns to my client is not to giving them tax liability. If you make any income, if you are giving heavy taxes on that, that is of no use. Keeping inflation in mind, inflation is at all time high, right? If I talk about the taxation is all time high. So now I advise any of my client to invest in a way wherein their tax liability is very less or negligible, or make it in a way that if one product is very taxable, so the other one is getting the rebate. So that is how I make the portfolio.
Okay. Anybody else wants to ask anything from ma'am? Arun, you can ask your query from ma'am.
मैम
Hi Arun, how are
हाय
you?
मैम फाइन मैम
Yeah.
मैम मेरा एक क्वेश्चन था कि अगर कोई रियल कंसल्टेंट आप बता रही थी कि मैम कोई अगर अपने से कोई खुद का अगर वो खोलना चाह रहा है तो उसका क्या बेस हो सकता है मैम?
क्या बेस हो सकता है मतलब?
मतलब कि ये आप बता रही मैं कोई रियल कंसल्टेंट खोलना जैसे कि रियल एस्टेट फॉर्म खोलना तो सर क्या क्या बेस क्या हो सकता है, कैसे इसमें उतरे?
कुछ नहीं है, आज की डेट में रियल एस्टेट फॉर्म खोलना इज वेरी वेरी इजी, नॉट दैट टफ. You can get your company register, have a RERA certification, RERA compliance अपना उसमें कराइए. उसके बाद अपना एक you can have your own broking firm. You want to open a broking firm or a development firm?
मैम डेवलपमेंट इसके बारे में अभी सोचा नहीं मैम।
मतलब ये सोचोगे ना तो उसके अकॉर्डिंगली आइडिया बनता है। आप ब्रोकिंग फर्म खोलना चाहते हो या डेवलपमेंट करना चाहते हो या प्लॉट्स करना चाहते हो, आप मास मार्केट केटर करना चाहते हो या लग्जरी। सी हर प्रोडक्ट का एक सेगमेंट होता है। एक होता है मास मार्केट, मैकडोनल्ड्स जैसा होता है। मैकडोनल्ड्स इज केटरिंग द मास मार्केट। नोबडी गोज फॉर द dinner or lunches at Leela Hotel or Taj Hotel. Nobody can, go for that. So अब आज की डेट में जैसे स्मार्ट सिटी, मोदी जी जैसे हमारे प्राइम मिनिस्टर हैं, उनका एक सपना है स्मार्ट सिटी बनाना। स्मार्ट सिटी बनाने का मतलब ये है कि हर किसी को घर देना है उन्होंने, 20 लाख 25 लाख तक का। सो उन्होंने एक योजना निकाली, प्रधानमंत्री आवास योजना, विच वी आर ऑल्सो वर्किंग ऑन दैट। वी हैव मेड projects in Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana, wherein client gets the rebate. We give houses of 21-22 lakhs and the client gets rebate of 2.65 lakhs, and the remaining amount they give it in the installments. We even have given houses for 14 lakhs under the Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana. So आपको अरुण जी पहले ये डिसाइड करना होगा, आप ब्रोकर बनना चाहते हैं, डेवलपर बनना चाहते हैं, आप कंसल्टेंट बनना चाहते हैं। मतलब रियल एस्टेट आप कर सकते हैं, आपको करना क्या है ये।
मैम बेसिकली ब्रोकर और डेवलपमेंट में डिफरेंस क्या है? डेवलपर
ब्रोकर ये होता है, डेवलपमेंट ये होती है कि कोई एक, जैसे हम लेट्स सपोज हमारी 4 कंपनियां हैं। हम एक कंपनी में क्या करते हैं, हमने जमीन एक्वायर की अथॉरिटी से और यहाँ किसान से, वो अथॉरिटी से लेके हमने नक्शे पास करवाए अथॉरिटी से, वो हमारी डेवलपमेंट होगी। हम एक एरिया को डेवलप जब करते हैं कि वो लोगों के बसावट कि वहां पे लोग रह सके, उसको डेवलपमेंट बोलते हैं। जो उस एरिया, जो हम सेक्टर या जो एरिया हम बनाएंगे, वहां के लिए सड़क बनाएंगे, नाला बनाएंगे, स्ट्रीट लाइट बनाएंगे, घर बनाएंगे, दुकान बनाएंगे, वो हो गया डेवलपमेंट। उसको जो बेचने वाली कंपनी होती है, ये डेवलपमेंट की कंपनी हो गई। और इस मकान को किसी को कैसे पता चलेगा कि मैं यहाँ पे डेवलपमेंट करूँ, क्योंकि मेरा फोकस तो पूरा डेवलपमेंट पे रहेगा, है ना। तो उनको लोगों तक ये बात कौन पहुंचाएगा कि एक सेक्टर में एक जगह पे प्लॉट या मकान बन रहे हैं जो कि प्रधानमंत्री आवास योजना वाले हैं या लग्जरी वाले हैं, वो एक ब्रोकिंग फर्म करती है। ब्रोकिंग फर्म क्या करती है, दे डू मार्केटिंग फॉर दैट डेवलपर। दे बोथ आर इंटरलिंक्ड, कोई ये अलग नहीं होते हैं। बट हाँ, मार्केटिंग डिपार्टमेंट जो होता है उसको आप ब्रोकिंग फर्म बोलते हैं, ब्रोकर्स बोलते हैं, कंसल्टेंट्स बोलते हैं, फैसिलिटेटर बोलते हैं। There are many words for that. Broking may sound very rude and harsh, but then we can use the fancy names in this. I mean, consultants, facilitators. I mean, the facilitator is the new word in this. But जो nature of work रहता है वो ये रहता है, आप डेवलपर के प्रोडक्ट को प्रमोट करते हो, लोगों तक पहुंचाते हो, उनके सपने पूरे करते हो, जिनको घर लेना है, दुकान लेनी है, प्लॉट लेनी है, फार्म हाउस लेना है। तो ब्रोकिंग और डेवलपर में ये फर्क होता है।
Okay, anybody else from the audience having any question?
I'm, liking the session this way more. Ishita, I'm liking the session this way more. I mean, having a two-way communication is always better.
Yes, ma'am, no problem.
I really like that guy who, asked that questions on equity and e-commerce. Give my appreciation to him.
Okay, Sanjeev.
And tell him to, if in case he is looking out for a VC, he can, anyways approach me.
Sanjeev, are you audible?
Yeah, sure, ma'am. Sure, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Sanjeev ji, आप आके मिलेगा हमसे. Yeah.
Sure, ma'am. Okay, thank you so much, ma'am.
Yeah.
Sanjeev, you want to ask anything else? Any query relating to the session or any doubt you want to clear out here?
Only 2 people has asked the question. Rest all, I'm looking forward for more questions, and toughest questions I'm looking forward for. Hello?
Anybody else from the audience having any question?
Please ask questions. Easy question, toughest question about the market, forecasting of any sector, anything you want to ask.
Now, in my view, like this funding is definitely one of the biggest bottleneck any entrepreneur or upcoming entrepreneur faces, right? And
Yeah.
ma'am has explained very well on that part, because you know uh, uh, because everything else, like if you see a job person, he will be more specialized. He will know the sector very well. But two of the things actually stops her or him to get into entrepreneurship. One is definitely the risk taking capability. Second is the funding, because without funding a business cannot be set up. So definitely ma'am has addressed these two questions, which are, I think, the biggest on my mind, which I've asked already. And I'll connect with you, ma'am, like for
Yeah, I'm looking
funding,
forward to meet
that
you. How come everyone is so silent? How entrepreneur बनना है सबको, but इतना silent कैसे हो सकता है कोई? इशिता मैम?
Yes, ma'am.
ये तो बड़े शांत लोग हैं सबके सब. किसी को कुछ
Ma'am,
पूछना ही
any
नहीं.
tips you would like to give to our students as they are budding lawyers, if they want to set up their own firm or anything relating to, advisory services,
ma'am.
since we offer our
Hello,
service?
Ji. Yeah, you can, for law, I would say corporate lawyer बनना. पहले अपना, just see what exactly you would be, catering. Somebody, asked a question. Somebody said hello in between. I mean, who was that?
Adi.
Sumaiira ma'am, I want to know
Yeah.
which types of challenges you faced while establishing your work as foundation.
Pardon me?
I want to know which types of challenges you faced while you opened your work arena foundation.
Challenge?
Challenges.
What challenges I have faced?
Yes, ma'am.
With the grace of God, I have not faced any challenge.
So we can think that anybody can run or start his own entrepreneurship in a very easy way.
I all through my life always have done, reverse calculation. Getting into business is fine, but then, I always had a strategy and plan. See, execution हमेशा से मेरे हाथ में था कि मुझे किस सेक्टर में जाना है, which market I have to mid segment, retail sector, HNI sector. So I always had the, any product you get into. Let's suppose I wanted to get into this real estate. So I having a banking sector, I had my client support. I was already having a portfolio of HNIs and corporates, which supported me really, really well. And my previous investors also supported me. So with the grace of God, मेरे को कोई challenge नहीं आया.
Ma'am, actually, you were very lucky. But generally, it has been seen that new entrepreneurs, they have to face many challenges regarding planning, observation, etc.
हाँ,
As we have,
मैंने वही बोला आपको कि जब आप कोई एक प्रोडक्ट डिसाइड करते हैं, ठीक है, उस प्रोडक्ट का मार्केट कौन सा है? इज इट टायर 1 सिटी, टायर 2 सिटी, टायर 3 सिटी? इट इज अपर सेक्टर, मिड सेगमेंट और द रिटेल सेक्टर? यू हैव टू मेक अ रिसर्च और एनालिसिस उस टाइप से करना चाहिए कि आप पहले रिजल्ट अपने इंश्योर करो. मैं उसी बिजनेस में तभी घुसती हूँ जब मेरे को लगता है कि मैं इसमें profit making business में ही हमेशा I invest in my time. Having money is okay. I will raise funds, or I will have my own funds, or somebody will support me. That is okay. But investing in my efforts, investing in my time, idea, investing in myself is the biggest thing. Rather than money. Money तो आ ही जाएगा अगर मेरा आइडिया अच्छा होगा. मेरे को लोगों का सपोर्ट मिल ही जाएगा, मेरा आइडिया अच्छा होगा. If I will give profits to my clients, they will only refer 10 people to me, 20 people to me. They will, promote me. If I talk about the ticket size, the amount of business I have raised in past 1 year, I have not spent even a penny on the marketing. And month on month, I am making crores of business. सो आप कोई भी प्रोडक्ट में, कोई भी बिजनेस में जब घुसते हो ना, आपको पहले रिसर्च ये करना है उसके ग्राहक कहाँ पे है। अगर आप ग्राहक तक नहीं पहुंचेंगे, एक आइडिया एक कमरे में और एक बड़े लैविश से ऑफिस में लेके बैठ जाएंगे, हमारा एजेंडा क्या है? टू मेक प्रॉफिट एंड लोगों तक पहुंचना। हम लोगों तक पहुंचने के लिए हमारे पास प्रोडक्ट कौन सा है और हम किस रिसोर्स के थ्रू जा रहे हैं, किस तरीके से लोगों तक पहुंच रहे हैं और किस टाइप के और कितने लोगों तक हम पहुंच रहे हैं, उसी के ऊपर हमारी ग्रोथ, प्रॉफिट और रिस्क इवैल्यूएट होता है।
मैम
Ma'am, since we are young budding lawyers and these people are very young and wait Arun, and they want to start their business, so how they can attract investment, how to generate finance for the business if they are not having enough resources apart from that.
I would, Ishita would like to address this in a way. They can, meet me for the face-to-face conversation. I will be having, 10 types of questions. ठीक है, उनका idea है, they want to become entrepreneur, I have high respect and regard for that. But then, वो क्यों करना चाहते हैं, उनके mind में ये idea कहाँ से आया?
Advise people relating to real estate, but since last 2 years the economy has gone down to a very huge
Collapse.
amount.
Technical
Yes,
collapse. Yes.
almost collapsed. So is it feasible to invest in real estate? And if somebody is a starter, he's not having that resources, so how can he generate amount or start his real estate business?
Thank you so much for this question. This is from Ishita, I guess. It is from you, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. See, real estate, if I talk about, if I see, you can, take up the history of past 50 years, right?
Yes,
अगर आप पिछले 50 साल का देखेंगे, हमारे पास में 3 बहुत गंदे रिसेशन आए हैं, है ना? उस रिसेशन में से हम निकल के आए हैं। अगर हम इकोनॉमी की बात करें, इकोनॉमी हमारा क्यों कोलैप्स हुआ एंड कौन से सेक्टर का कोलैप्स हुआ, सबसे ज्यादा टेक्निकली कौन सा कोई सेक्टर मुझे नहीं लगता कुछ भी इफेक्ट हुआ है। हमने लॉकडाउन में जब हम लोग घर थे, वी हैव जस्ट, हमने बस कपड़े ही तो नहीं खरीदे अच्छे, हमने क्या चीज नहीं बाय किया, वी हैव इन्वेस्टेड इन गोल्ड इज ऑल टाइम हाई, सिल्वर इज ऑल टाइम हाई, and real estate पिछले 5 साल से it was stagnant. Now it has booming. There is a movement in the market. Why? Because this is the only sector from which government also raises high revenue via stamp duty, stamp papers, and the registry amount. And if I talk about the you are saying that there is a collapse or there is a correction or there is a downfall in our industry. Last year in August, Noida has increased the circle rate of residential sector by 25% and industrial and commercial sector by 45%. So if government is increasing the circle rate, so that means this is the backbone of our Indian economy. Real estate and gold has been and will be always backbone of our economy. हर किसी का सपना होता है कि भाई मुझे मेरे बच्चे के लिए घर बनाना है, मुझे अपने लिए घर बनाना है, घर बन गया तो मुझे दुकान बनाना है कि उससे मेरी रेंटल इनकम आती रहे. नाउ द सिनेरियो इज सच, वी एडवाइज एंड वी मेक पोर्टफोलियोज इन अ वे कि आजकल पेरेंट्स को बच्चे नहीं पूछते हैं, तो मैं उनको एडवाइस करती हूँ अपने बेटे या बेटी या बहू के ऊपर डिपेंड मत रहो, एक दुकान लो जिससे आपको किराया आता रहेगा. डू नॉट डिपेंडेंट ऑन योर किड्स.
यस,
है ना? सो अभी इसमें, हाँ जी
मैम मेरा एक क्वेश्चन था कि अभी आपने एक लाइन बोली है कि हम उसी बिजनेस में करते हैं, आपने किया जो इसमें हमेशा आपको प्रॉफिट ही हुआ है. तो कोविड के मैम कोविड के बाद जितने सारे लोग, काफी लोगों का बिजनेस जो है ब्रेक हुआ है, तो उन्हें किस टाइप का मैम आइडिया से कैसे वो शुरू करके प्रॉफिट ही हो, आपने सेंटेंस बोला है उस हिसाब से.
अरुण, मैंने सबसे हाईएस्ट सेल मैंने कोविड में की है एंड आई कैन शो यू द रिकॉर्ड्स. सबसे ज्यादा जो घर बिके हैं, सबसे ज्यादा घर जो बिके हैं और सबसे ज्यादा देयर इज अ कंपनी, आई विल नॉट नेम हियर, दे हैव मेड सेल ऑफ 1700 crores इन द मंथ ऑफ, जब बहुत पीक पे था कोविड. कंपनी का नाम मैं लूंगी.
मैम आप समझ नहीं पाई मैं क्या पूछना चाह रहा हूँ. मैं ये चाह रहा हूँ कि आपने एक सेंटेंस अभी बोला है कि आपने जिस भी बिजनेस को शुरू किया है, जहां भी वो किया, आप उसमें हमेशा प्रॉफिट ही किया है. गेन किया है।
हाँ किया
हाँ,
हाँ
तो
किया।
कोविड के बाद काफी सारे लोगों का बिजनेस जो है मैम ब्रेक हुआ है, एंड हुआ। तो मैम अब वो कैसे शुरू करें मैम वो अपना, कि हमेशा प्रॉफिट ही हो आपके
शुरू
कंटेंट्स
करें
के बारे में? यस मैम।
वो लोग कैसे शुरू करें? अब कौन से
यस मैम।
सेक्टर की बात कर रहे हो? मेरे को मतलब मुझे सेक्टर, आप शेयर मार्केट भी उठाएंगे, अगर फैक्ट शीट भी उठाएंगे, डॉलर भी आपका अपसाइड है, कौन से सेक्टर के लोग डाउनफॉल हुआ है? मेरे को तो मतलब आई मीट 10 टाइप्स ऑफ पीपल इन अ डे, मुझे डाउनफॉल वाला एक भी बंदा नहीं मिला। मुझे तो लोग मिलते हैं कि मैडम पैसा पड़ा हुआ, बताओ कहाँ लगाना है। एंड जेन्युइनली आई मीन वी आर इनटू, अरुण आपको पता ही है जैसे कि वी आर इनटू एक्सचेंज ऑफ प्रॉपर्टी बिजनेस आल्सो। तो पुराना, आज से 10 साल पहले भी किसी ने पैसा लगाया था, आज उनको वो पैसा रिवाइव करने के लिए और पैसा नहीं लगाना है, लाइक जैसे कि स्टॉक मार्केट में हेजिंग होती है, तो पीपल हैव कैपेसिटी टू इन्वेस्ट इन मोर टू रिवाइव देयर प्रीवियस इन्वेस्टमेंट्स।
ओके मैम।
अरुण और पूछेंगे आप सवाल?
अगर मान के चलिए मैम, अगर कोई अपना स्टार्टअप शुरू कर रहा है, तो वो कौन आइडियाज, किस बेस पे, किस आइडिया पे अपने स्टार्टअप को शुरू करना चाहिए उसको?
ये आपको डिसाइड करना है कौन से उस पे करना है आपको, प्रोडक्ट आप डिसाइड करेंगे ना।
मान लीजिए मैम, अगर हमें किसी भी प्रोडक्ट पे या कहीं भी, आप मैम प्लीज
आप
इसका
प्रोडक्ट
क्या,
बताइए मुझे, मैं उसके अकॉर्डिंग आई विल एड्रेस।
मैम प्रोडक्ट के हिसाब से मैम मान के चलिए, अगर कोई एजुकेशन में ही अगर देखा जाए तो?
एजुकेशन में
यस मैम।
आपका तो लॉ का है, मतलब लॉ कर रहे हैं आप, तो यू कैन कम अप विद योर ओन कॉलेज,
यस मैम।
ऑनलाइन एप्लीकेशंस, लाइक पेपरलेस, पेपर फ्री। सो लोगों को घर तक नई चीजें पहुंच पाती हैं। एजुकेशन एप्स आप डाउनलोड, जैसे बायजूस है, बायजूस देखो आज की डेट में कितना उसने आईपीओ भी लॉन्च अगर किया है, कितना हाई एंड उसका ओवर सब्सक्राइब हुआ है। अभी एक न्यू एप्लीकेशन आई है, वो भी बहुत ज्यादा हाइप में है मार्केट में। आईआईएम वाले स्टडी कर रहे हैं उसके ऊपर कि इन सच अ शॉर्ट स्पैन ऑफ टाइम हाउ दे हैव रेज्ड फंड फ्रॉम द मार्केट। मैंने वही बोला कि मार्केट में पैसा भी है, इन्वेस्टर भी है, आपके प्रोडक्ट में दम होना चाहिए और आप में दम होना चाहिए।
मैम आपने ये बोला कि पैसा भी है, तो मैम जो हमारे लिए वो पुअर्स पीपुल हैं जो उतना अफोर्ड नहीं कर पा रहे हैं, उनके लिए मैम फिर कैसे हो, कुछ ऐसी चीज होनी चाहिए उनके उनके लिए भी काम कुछ करना चाहिए मैम, अफोर्ड की ऐसी कुछ चीज
पुअर
नहीं
मतलब कैसे? पुअर
मैम,
कैसे मतलब किन लोगों को?
उनके मैम वो भी अफोर्ड कर सकते, उनका भी हक मैम, जैसे आप समझ नहीं पाए मैम, आपने अभी
बताइए आप समझाइए।
की सेंटेंस बोला था ना मैम कि मैंने वही चीज की जिसमें हमेशा मेरे को प्रॉफिट हुआ, प्रॉफिट गेन
नहीं,
हुआ मैम।
मैंने ये बोला कि मैं हमेशा वो चीज करती हूँ जिसमें मैं अपने रिजल्ट पहले इंश्योर करती हूँ कि मुझे कामयाबी मिलेगी ही। मैं पहले अपना रिवर्स कैलकुलेशन करती हूँ हर चीज की, कि अगर मैं ये चीज कर रही हूँ तो इसको मुझे मुनाफा कहाँ से आएगा। पहले मैं अपना मुनाफा इंश्योर करती हूँ, उसके बाद आई गेट इनटू इट, सो दैट मैं फेल नहीं हूँ। तो मेरा ऑटोमेटिकली जिस भी चीज में घुसती हूँ मेरे को प्रॉफिट होता है।
ओके मैम, थैंक यू मैम, यही था मैम मेरा से।
मतलब एक एक होता है ना कि पैशन, जज्बा, जज्बा और जुनून होना चाहिए। अगर आप में जज्बा और जुनून नहीं होगा और आपके प्रोडक्ट में दम होगा तो भी नहीं होगा। आपके अंदर जज्बा और जुनून होगा लेकिन प्रोडक्ट में कमी होगी, वो चल जाएगा। आप समझे?
मैम
आई एम
Since ma'am,
लाइक,
we have only 2 minutes left. Anybody else wants to ask anything from ma'am? So ma'am, we can wind up the session now.
yeah, thank you so much for giving me this an opportunity to address the queries of people, and to motivate your
Yes, ma'am,
students.
your experience has been really motivating for our students.
And I'm
And
really giving thanks for giving me this opportunity also. And I'm really looking forward, if anybody is looking for the capital, or they have then any good idea or something, they can anytime they can approach me. I'm looking forward for such good ideas if they really have the potential in their market, the product. Yeah. Thank you so much, Ishita.
So with this, we conclude our session on behalf of IIMT College of Law. With due respect, I would like to thank you, ma'am, for your presence
so
at
much,
this
Ishita.
workshop
Yeah,
and
thank you.
deliver such a knowledgeable lecture. Thank you
Thank
all
you.
the viewers for being such patient listeners. All of us have learned a lot today on how to develop startup and be successful entrepreneurs. It has been a very interesting session. We really appreciate you, ma'am, for taking out time from your busy schedule. It's always been a pleasure to have you with us, and we look forward to see you again for upcoming events. Thank you so much, ma'am. Have a
Same
nice
here,
day.
Ishita. Same. You too. Same here.
Thank you, ma'am. Bye, ma'am.
Bye.